Welcome to Flipping the Classroom, and in this segment, your instructor, Mr. Banks, will be instructing you on how to do a project that we are doing currently with the Great Gatsby and the American Dream. And what is the American Dream? Well, the American Dream was in the 1920s, and it was an idea of wealth and prosperity and family and owning materialistic things. There are different aspects of the 1920s that it has, such as profession and clothes, cars, home, current fads or trends of interest in the entertainment industry, such as music and social media. So the real question is, what is the American Dream in the year 2012? I want you to take those aspects of the past and now and apply it to currently. Each group will establish an identity. Therefore, you must pick a role for each group member of the group, or rather assume a role based on your preference. And the group as a whole must engage in a discussion once they have established, which talks about what they feel embodies the current American dream. And the group leader is going to take notes over these aspects of the dream, and each member will then dissect each aspect individually based on what they choose. And those choices will be, a professional role such as a lawyer, a musician, a poet, producer, politician, reporter, comedian, and or photographer. Now, collaborative learning must have a group manager or leader. Students have to communicate as a group, but the group has to have a facilitator, and this is someone who helps the members of the group. They take notes, they put the individual projects together, and they make one solid project in the PowerPoint. And students will make comparisons in their research of the American Dream versus the 1920s American Dream, regardless of what role that they assume. Now, here's the roles as they are taken. If you're a lawyer, you're going to be doing one that deals with the laws and the freedoms demanded during that time that were argued currently. As a photographer, you'll look at different pictures and art that was designed and the decor that exists then compared to now. Musicians, obviously, take the music trends of today versus, let's say the jazz. Poetry that's created currently to the poetry that was done back then. And as a producer, there's film and media trends versus the film industry and the radio industry during that time. Reporting, current news, which impacts America now versus then. And as a comedian, you look at the entertainment in today's society, fads, dance crazes, etc. versus back then. And as a politician, current issues the nation is facing politically now versus what they had back in those days. So depending on what role you take, that's what you're going to be making your comparisons to. And that's what, as a group, when you're together, you're going to be discussing those. And once the group agrees on these things, then you just go in there and you start finding the information. Now, as far as group research, each group member will research his or her topic for the presentation, and everything used must be documented. This includes pictures, music, information, videos, anything that you use. You do this by using the Citation Maker program from Mr. Banks' helpful links button on his homepage, and you document everything at the end of your project. Each project can be then done using any program available on the netbook or computer. This is Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Movie Maker, Photo Story, whatever. Remember that each project will be taken by the group leader and put together universally on a PowerPoint by the group leader. And as a group leader, you will document information for the teacher on group member progress. You will help them locate information, you'll help them use programs, and keep at a tab on their progress during class time to make sure they're meeting the time constraints. You keep each group on task and focused, and you report back to the teacher periodically during that time. Once they've completed their individual project, you, the group leader, will use a jump drive provided by the teacher to copy that project and bring it to your U-Drive account, and then you will construct an entire group's work as a big presentation. Once groups have finished individually, it will be their job to assist the group leader in transitioning their work into the entire group's project. Only after the group leader has completed the transition with the owner's help will the individual be done. And once all individuals have completed their work, the project will be finished. Okay, so let's get started with some examples here on what's going to happen. First, you're going to go to the web page and type in one of those internet resources we got on the handout. And in this case, it's the Jazz Age. And so once you get to that web address, you kind of check the web address or the web page out and see if there's any information there that you want to use. And once you do find that information, as you scroll down and read, you'll determine whether or not this is going to work well with your project deal in the 1920s. In this case, let's say they click on Louis Armstrong, who was one of the premier entertainers during that time. Well, what you want to do is you want to create, information. So now we're ready to start. Let's say we open a Word document. And what we want to do is paste that web address for that site that we just found it, because we don't want to lose that web address or that website, because it's good stuff. Then we go in there and look at some of the information that is available, and we can copy that information in and paste it into our Word document so that we have information that we pulled directly from that website. And this is very important because you don't want to lose information that you see consistently as you're surfing through the internet on that website. Next, we want to open up what we're actually doing our project in this case, maybe PowerPoint. And once you open PowerPoint up, you can kind of model the background if you want to change the background color or the transitions or anything like that for the type of project you're going to do. And so you're going to have a title slide or a beginning of anything, and that's going to be the title of whatever you decide. In this case, we were the musician. So we'll title this Jazz Age versus pop culture, because jazz was the premier music during that time of the 1920s, which was the dream, the American dream. You put by who you are, and you want to insert a new slide as you're going along. Now, there's many different options to choose from, but one may have a title at the top and a text box. So we'll copy that information from where we pull from the website, paste it in that PowerPoint there, and then come up with a title of our own that we want to work with. In this case, Louis Armstrong and jazz. Over to the right, there's some options that you can go with. If you look in the middle of that, it has you can insert audio or video or clip art or pictures or graphs or things like that. In this case, let's go with some clip art. And over to the right when it opens, just type in what you're looking for, like say music, any visual that goes with music. And once we do, just select one of the pictures. And we're going to use this picture as a hyperlink. We're going to take it, we're going to right-click on that image and click on hyperlink. And what we're going to do is we're going to hyperlink to the website. So we go back to our Word document where the web address is, copy it, and we're going to paste it right in there for the hyperlink and hit OK. The picture now becomes a hyperlink to the audio that we have just found on the Louis Armstrong website. So if you engage the project, you'll see your first slide, which is Jazz Age, and then boom, you go there and look, it's hyperlinked. You click on it, and what it's going to do is that person who clicks on it it's going to open up the web page with Louis Armstrong and some of the audio that is there, because let's face it, some of the audio is copywritten and we can't save it or rip it from the internet. So the best thing to do is just send them to the direction where they can get it. Now we're going to have to open up a new slide because we want to document what we just did. So we're going to create a works cited page, and we're just going to add to it as we add more slides and add more information. And so to do that, we're going to have to go and open up a new internet page. And when we do, we're going to go to a home page and click on our high school. Look over to Teacher Web Pages and click on your instructor, Mr. Banks. And when his website opens, you're going to scroll down over to the left and find the button that says Helpful Links. This will open up an opportunity for you to see the citation links page. There's quite a few different ones that we have available to us. The one I think we're going to go with today is going to be the EasyBib. It's very simplistic in using. So once we open that up, it asks for just the web address that we got our information from. So we just need to go back to our Word document and copy that web address again. And once we have that, we're just going to paste it right in there to EasyBib. And when we do that, when we paste it in there, it's going to automatically find the information from that website as best it can and plug it in. Now, it won't always have everything, but it has a lot of the stuff found for you. So it's really doing a lot of the work for you. Something we need to do is find when this page was actually done and make sure we look at the company, see if there's an author or title. And so we go back to the website and we see, okay, there's the title, Louis Armstrong. And we know that that's going to be it, but usually the date for publication is down at the bottom of the website. And there it is, 2000. And there also is, besides PBS, another sponsor for the website. So we copy that sponsor, and then we'll go back to EasyBib. Since we already know it's 2001, we'll just type in 2001. No sense in always having to copy and paste. And then leave everything else blank there because it just has a year. And then there's the title. We know that there's no author. We looked because it's an organization, so we leave that blank. There's the publisher, though, the company. We got to paste that in there. And then, of course, we need the title. And the title was Louis Armstrong. If you don't want to type it in, you can always go back up to the top, copy the title of the web page, and copy it and paste it in to EasyBib. And what that'll do is it'll set things up for us to format the works cited. Once we've got all the information in, we're sure that there's no author or there's nothing else or an editor or anything like that, simply scroll down and create that citation. It's going to open it up, and there it is. You copy your citation that it made, and once you copy it, you'll go back to your PowerPoint and the works cited, paste it in, and you have your first source. And you will just continue to build on this. And you may end up using more than one slide with your works cited. The more information you have, obviously, the more you're going to have to do. But once you create one thing, like, say, the 1920s, now you need to go and find something that is on the other side of things, which is current trends. So we want to go over to Google and maybe type in pop culture. And it'll have maybe some information about today's pop culture. Once it does come up, there'll be lots of websites. Don't just click on the first thing that comes up. Read the titles, read the dates, read the information on them, and see if you can find something that works. Once you do, click on it, and it'll open up that web page for you. And you'll need to read. Look at what's available to you, the subheadings, the links, information. Make sure that it's a legitimate website, something that you can get real information from, that when you program the information in or the stuff that you're pulling from is legitimate. If you do find that, you're going to want to add a new slide. When we add that new slide in, we're going to have to come up with a title for that slide and what we're covering. In this particular sense, we're talking about, since we're the musician, pop culture and music. So we'll type in pop culture. And the information that we'll put in there in that text will be information that we get from the website that we find information on. It's very basic, setup as far as that. You want to go back to the website. You want to find your information. And you also want to document. So let's just go ahead and document again. So we're going to copy that web address, paste it into the new website we found, and it puts all that information in for us. And in this case, that website was so well done that all the information was found for us. We just simply have to create it and ignore any of the ads that might come up, copy the information, and paste it in as a new source that we have. And that's how you just basically create your works cited. Just one thing, each additional thing that you find, and just paste it in. It's not difficult. And, obviously each one, this is just a quick showing of how to do it. I totally expect you to really add a lot of stuff and information. This was just a really quick run. Good luck to you, and hopefully you will be able to find your information.